want to get our spoilers out?
Yep.
Alright, they're working. Five. Crosswind.
Okay. And then we're looking for about that 45, so half spoiler. And make our turn. Feel that, see how we're pulling back on the stick, see that nose is coming up? So we want to keep that nose down.
You want to be a little faster than 55 here?
Yeah, we're okay.
County Zulu entering extended left base, number 2, Williams.
Final. How's it feel? High, low, or looking good?
High.
So leave it alone for a second, and answer that question as you get around the corner and see if it still feels high. See how we're kind of dropping the nose? Don't push the stick back. Remember, just relax on the stick there. There you go. So see, it's still feeling good, right?
Yep.
So we have a little extra speed. We're gonna float up. Leave the spoilers at half. Don't play with them.
Okay.
There we go. And then keep that nose down, and then we're gonna float it all the way up to the lines, and don't let it land. So keep it in the air as long as you can. Keep it in the air. Pull back. Keep it in the air. Keep it in the air. Keep it in the air. See how the stick's not quite up against the stop? Pull it all the way back. There you go.
Okay. So put it all the way to the stop.
Yep.
Just keep flying basically to the runway.
Yeah. Check the brakes. There you go. And then right rudder, left rudder. And then we can close the brakes and keep rolling. Good. So, great. So the key is through the pattern, we have the trim set already, right?
Okay.
If it wants to fly 55, if we gain an extra 5 knots, it's not the end of the world, right? But just watch a lot of people unintentionally slow down or slow down too much. They go, oh, I'm fast, and just pull the nose up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to hit a speed necessarily. So think about just flying as pitch attitude. We only need to change, for 5 knots, we only have to bring the nose up a ½ inch, right? But as we come around on final, the horizon's changing and everything like that, so people start pulling up or trying to fix the sight picture to the runway. When we turned around on final, you kind of pushed a little bit. Just kind of nice, easy. Yeah, just leave it alone. It's flying the speed it wants until we're ready to flare or hold it off. We don't need to change anything.
Okay.
Then when we get into the pattern, that's when, as we got on final, that's when we get ready to start trying to hold it off as long as we can down the runway. So you did a good job in there. We want to pull back. We're trying to find a rate that we can pull back fast enough that we don't balloon, right?
Okay.
Or not so fast that we balloon or pull back up, but we want to stay the same altitude right off the ground, right? But if we're only like a foot off the ground at that point, right? And we need to, as we're slowing, we have to continually add more and more back pressure at a constant rate to maintain our 1 foot altitude, right?
Okay.
Because the elevator, as we slow down, the elevator is becoming less and less effective. So, if we pause at any point, because we're only like a foot off the ground, we're going to touch. So it has to kind of be a consistent, keep holding off, keep holding off, keep holding off all the way down. When we like relax, or like, oh, is that too fast? Then we hit. Right?
Okay. And we landed early, right?
A little early, yeah.
A little early.
I think we might have been able to float all the way up to the white lines. We landed a little bit fast and slightly early, but it was good. It was still a nice, smooth landing.
Yeah, it felt very smooth, but obviously just
precision.
Yeah. And so the big thing is at this point is just kind of being able to like set it at half and leave it alone and go, okay, we landed a little short that time. Why? You know, without messing with the spoilers a whole lot, because you're still trying to initially you have to build that. What does a half spoiler glide slope look like?
Mhm.
You know.
Because when you asked, are we high or are we low, we were good.
I thought it was okay. I thought it wasn't crazy high or crazy low.
Okay.
You know. And you said high.
Yeah, I felt
And we
high.
ended up short. So it was, if anything, it was a little bit low.
Okay. And I was fiddling with the spoilers for sure too.
Mm-hmm. And really, it's not doing much, you know? If we think about, so if we put so when the spoiler cap comes out, just that much, that's 30% of the effectiveness.
Okay.
Because it's creating that initial drag,
Okay,
right?
that's a good number to know.
So if we open them up here, the difference between here and here and here, we're talking like maybe 5%, 10%.
Okay.
You know, so are we all really gonna see and correct for like a 10% glide slope? Yeah, probably not, you know? By just those little corrections. Go up to like 2,000 and just do a couple turns and then come back in.
Okay. I like it.
Looks good.
I like
Any
your.
questions? Huh?
I like your warmth flare.
Yeah, I know, right?
Looks really nice.
Yeah. They're like this material, like not quite as thick, but like this this like t-shirt catalog. Usually pick shit out of it. Put the logo, slap the logo on it.
Now, how much of like looking at this do you like suggest I do?
So mostly
Like, should
what
I
we're
touch
looking
it?
for is we're looking to see that there's no additional like. So this is all frayed. That's fine. We don't want to see any frays in the knot itself, and we don't want to see an additional knot. So this is just a single bowline knot here.
Okay.
But if we release hard, if we're under tension, it releases. Sometimes this will like kick up around,
Oh, okay, sure,
and
sure.
it can do that, right?
Sure.
So if there's a knot in it, or if the knot's tied perfectly, like I've seen where it's like right over the top, and you're like, that looks weird. But I've towed on shit like that before, and it's not too bad. I mean, if you get an additional knot in the rope, it's going to reduce the rope shrink by 50%. That's more of a box knot up here than if the knot's over the old knot, because it's not really tying that tight, you know?
Okay.
So that's kind of what you're looking for. So you're mostly just looking to, I mean, basically whenever anyone's saying it, they're asking you like, hey, are you good towing on this knot? And if it looks weird, just stop them and then take a closer look, you know?
Yep.
Close.
I'm close. All right. Altimeter. Altimeter. Belts, ballast, canopy, cables, controls, dive brakes, direction of wind, still calmish. Now, does this? What else would get? Oh, here we go. 356 is 6.
If you hold down the left arrow on the red button display. There you go. That's the flying screen. There you go. And that's not giving us. That's a 356. That was when we landed. So it's only going to give us. It's GPS based, right? So it's not going to give us winds unless we're moving. It's calculating like our ground speed versus what we're actually doing, our airspeed and
Okay.
wind drift and GPS tracks and all that sort of stuff to come up with the winds. Because there's no like anemometer on the glider. You know what I mean? Where it's
Okay.
actually spinning and telling us what the winds are doing. So
So-
with winds, we're just gonna look at the sock, and then aloft that'll work, but not on tow.
So 0 Zulu 2 to the east.
Yep.
I say 0 Zulu Blue Bravo Mike.
Yeah. 80 Zulu Bravo Mike. 2,000 foot tow to the east.
80 Zulu Bravo Mike 2,000 foot tow to the east.
Bravo Mike 2000 to the east.
Now do I hold?
Wait, Charlie Pony 80 Zulu glider in test park
Do I
34
hold my
away.
right aileron now?
Yep. Yeah, we can start there because the wing's gonna pop up right away, and then this time just pull it back enough till you feel the tail touch, and then relax. Right. So as we're rolling down, keep the wings level. There you go. Tap and then relax the back pressure. Now push it over to stay in ground effect. Now don't climb, so keep pushing. There we go. We don't want to push it into the ground, but we want to not climb. Now we climb up with him. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Good. Now stay with him. Keep coming up, 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 up. Keep him on the horizon. Pull up harder. Up high. There you go. Just like that. We want to keep him on the horizon the entire time.
Yeah, it's a aggressive like climb. I need to get comfortable with right there.
Well, so it's not. It goes from level to climb out. You know, and he's not climbing up super aggressive. But if you get behind it, then you got to pull hard. That's the uncomfortable part. You know.
Yes.
So staying just above him, just a little bit, or just with him is key.
Now, when I find myself on the inside like that, what's the best way to correct?
Just shallow the bank. You'll get kicked out of the turn.
Okay.
And then tight, like here, see how we're getting kicked out a little bit? So just tighten it up a little bit. There you go, neutral rudder. Just point at the outside wingtip there. There you go. And then keep his altitude. Feel the difference in those turns?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta feel in your butt.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, that's how it is.
Absolutely.
All right, so now we're at 55.
Well, do we need 55 here?
No, probably minimum sync more than anything, right?
Yeah, because we're already over the field, right?
Okay.
The best glide 55 is just to, if we're gonna do like maneuvers and stuff, right? Like,
Okay.
gotta toss the plane around. But let's fly minimum sync for a while. Do a nice slow flight turn, like 10-degree bank to the left, 180 degrees.
Pawnee is visible entering left base 16 wing.
It's funny how it makes like a higher pitch when it's yawing.
When it's slow, yeah, right?
But then it's like a lower pitch if you're yawing the other way.
Yeah, it does. Let's do it.
Actually,
And see how long you can just sit up here and float, right?
yep.
That's the real beauty of minimum sync.
Traffic. Now the 23 is, I mean, very similar characteristics to 21.
Yeah.
That's why you basically do that just to save the lease aircraft.
Yeah, it doesn't put an instructor out for people to solo. And if someone screws it up, then we're not out of training ship.
And this probably like 380K.
No, 125.
Just because it's a basic training, right? Why are some gliders? I mean, this is, you know, state of the art training. Why is like a racing glider, you know, a non, you know, if it doesn't have the extender or self-launching capability, what makes it a $300,000 glider? Or are there gliders that are expensive?
Yeah, I'd say it's the part of it's the R&D. You know, it has more mixing cables and stuff like that. It's a more complex airplane.
Okay.
In a lot of ways. I don't know.